Hi, how are you doing today? I'm Doreca. Welcome to my channel where we usually talk mostly about development, but by occupation, I am an occupational psychologist who works to enhance emotional intelligence skills through expressive art, and I love what I do. But today I will really have a question for you. Who would you say is your worst critic? And I ask this because if you had asked me this question, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I would have had people that I think are my worst critic. Until the last few days that I've been noticing this aspect about me being my worst critic. And I'll tell you why. I have been doing work in embracing the whole of me, developing awareness of different aspects of myself. And as an empath, if you've been watching my videos, you know I share a lot about my own journey. And as an empath, I really don't struggle embracing the child self. But I've been noticing a lot more about an aspect of myself that didn't feel really great about noticing at first, which is the critic side of me. And at first, this is not a good and bad aspects of myself. I hope that becomes clear. It's just coming from a place of perhaps having aspects of ourselves that are not balanced. So we have different aspects of ourselves, and the more balanced and in cooperation they work together, the better and wholesome we can experience life. So my journey is really to notice and help develop areas that maybe are not as developed as other areas, or the areas that are taking over too much can be given a break. And I have definitely been noticing that my critic, some people call them a judger. And actually I was watching Stacey Hawk the other day, and I believe her channel is called Empower-us. If I can remember it, I will put it on the description below. But she does a really good work and I enjoy her channel. And I was watching, and she was talking about this the other day that really helped solidify the things that I've been noticing about myself. And it's almost like looking in the mirror and going, oh, my face looks really pretty today, but what's going on with my chest or my arms is having all of you noticed and appreciated. And I noticed what I had been doing. This is practical now of why I noticed her coming across more than I thought she was in operation, really. And I have been making a lot of changes, slowing down my life, paring it down quite a bit. And I suppose part of that is overcoming my own prejudices, my own cognitive or my own beliefs that I didn't even know were in play, that perhaps people who have a slower pace in life, are they lazy? You know, are they not wanting to be pursuing and being on point, right? And I know that's not true, because when I notice, or when I watch a show, for example, of someone who gives up a corporate job, unplugs, and just decides to just go somewhere quieter and being in nature, I actually admire it. So I knew it wasn't from a place where I'm very conscious of. It must be an ingrained, unconscious belief that I hold that says certain lifestyles are not attractive, or certain lifestyle equals lazy, or not being ambitious enough, or whatever. And I don't quite have this nailed down, or not as being as clear, but what had been coming up was I started picking people in my life that were people in my family, people who are friends, that I know we hold this aspect of being go-getters, pursuing stuff, like we share this aspect together. And I started projecting things they would say to me. And this wasn't based on any reality. None of these friends or family members have actually said these things to me, as in to challenge or say something negative about my chosen path in life right now. So I knew it wasn't based on truth. I knew it was based on, it could have been a possibility. I knew it was almost like an ego playing mind tricks with me. It could be a possibility they could say that simply because we have embraced a different aspect of life before, but it wasn't something they had actually said. So it was me creating a problem that didn't exist, and then creating dialogues in my mind how I would respond should they say those things to me. They never say those things. I'm creating the problem, projecting, and I'm at the same time creating solutions, going overboard in crazy, like literally. But I know I'm not alone in this. I know that when we are making decisions or we are choosing different ways of doing things, there is an autopilot in our subconscious that comes to play. A belief that we didn't recognize we had before can come to play, and we can be our worst critic. And I don't know how this plays out in everybody, and different people experience in different areas, but for me, I'm noticing this about myself, and I thought, how about I come over here and just share that and see if maybe you can also share back if those kind of things have come up. And I know we don't all have the same selves that come up, so I'm not saying we all have a critic, or I know we all have child selves, and maybe we all have different aspects of the critic, and that is not a negative thing. I think every aspect of us is necessary and wholesome. It's just having the balance where they can all coexist together in harmony. And I'm just working on supporting that and noticing that, and just creating a space where they can all coexist without judgment. And I'm realizing this one has been the most challenging aspect for me to just embrace fully and not wanting it changed, because I thought, who thinks those things? Who wants to be so judgmental? Because I'm attributing the thought that is thoughts that are coming up with who that aspect of myself is. So I'm almost rejecting the part of me, the self, that is critical because of the critics that it's making. If you can follow my thought, I'm wanting to throw away the whole of it because I don't like the judgments that it's making about myself. But it's really the belief that's coming up that I don't like. But even though I don't like it, I am going to embrace it, because when we are fighting with aspects of ourselves, nobody wins. So let me know your thought. Comment below. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell button so that when I post new videos, you get to know about it. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time, Lord willing. Bye-bye.